thank you for coming. I'm Mark Sullivan, half of Final Studios, and this is Immortal's Way.
This is my first slide.
Okay. So Immortal's Way is a boss-focused action game where you battle your way through 12 creatures from Chinese mythologies. So this is a premium indie title. We're looking to launch on platforms like Steam and Nintendo Switch, about 8 to 10 hours of playtime. And we are self-funding the majority of this game, about 71% of our proposed budget. And we're looking for another $219,000 to help us with expenses such as marketing, audio, and other go-to-launch expenses. Now let's see if my video works. So this is a video of our current gameplay featuring one of the bosses that we built out, Kautia, the Beast of Gluttony. So that's where we are so far. Feeling good about that demo so far. We recently redid the whole look of the game. We had a low poly style before, but now we have this kind of Chinese ink brush, Okami evoking art style. All the models and shaders. And can I skip past this without playing a video again? Yes. So we've been showing this game around already at a bunch of various events. We've had over 400 people try the game out. And we've seen appeal with a lot of different types of gamers. This is going to be a boss-heavy game. Think Shadow of the Colossus, focuses on the boss fight. So boss fight enthusiasts, these are some quotes from players. I really like this one. I love this. It's simple but challenging. I don't have time for 100-hour games. I'm a long-time Soulsborne player, but I'm also the father of 2 young kids, so I really relate to that one. Competitive gamers, we had a basic leaderboard system at one of the events, and we had somebody who he was at the top of the leaderboard, gave us his phone number. He was like, if anyone beats me, call me back. I'll come down the next day of this event. I'm buy another ticket. They're not stop. And mythology lovers, games like Hades and stuff. People like learning about these mythological creatures that maybe they hadn't heard of. We think it's a good time to make a game like this. So, recently, Black Myth Wukong, huge game, 25 million copies. It showed that there is an appetite for, kind of Chinese mythology as your setting in games, but there's not really a good equivalent of it in the premium indie space. Conversely, we have a game like Death's Door, which is a similar top-down, action-heavy indie game, also made by 2 developers. And that did well. That sold about 800,000 copies. So we see ourselves as sort of at the intersection of those 2 types of games. So the scope of a game like and combat of a game like Death's Door combined with the culture of a game like Black Myth Wukong. This is the team. So there's me, Mark Sullivan, who's doing the engineering, and Sinsen, who's doing the art and the game design. So we know how to make and finish games. We've been making games most of our professional careers. Between us, we have 11 shipped titles. One spot I mentioned, audio is part of the funding that we're looking for. We don't currently have an audio designer. The music you heard is representative of the music we want, but it's free audio right now. Want to take a quick look at some of the comparable games that are out on the market right now. So, out of all these other, indie combat-heavy games, ours does stand out with its setting. A lot of the games have done really well. Everything up here has sold over 500,000 copies. For their current budget, we only need to sell more than 61,000 copies to break even. Probably higher than that, but that's the break-even point. And speaking of the budget, here's a quick look at the numbers we have right now. So like I mentioned, we are self-funding 71% of it. Look for an additional 298,000. If we hit our sales target of 250,000 copies, that would bring in 3.14 million in net revenue. 5 million for the other map periods out there. And that's it. Thank you very much. I have a demo with me. love if any of you could try it out. I'm really excited to make this game and love to talk to anyone who would like to help to make it happen. Thank you.
Yeah, super. All right, that was awesome. I really liked that you could play as a rabbit. I really like boss fights. I worked on Shadow of the Colossus, so it was one of the big PlayStation 3 games that I worked on Sony. Sign me up. I love boss fight games. I think the concept is great. I really liked how for the presentation, you did a great lead in and you showed the gameplay and the core loop immediately. To me, that is like, you're trying to sell your game, so tell them what the game is first. I thought that was great. And seeing the demo video is great. The demo video had very dizzying camera, kind of like a VR game. And I was like, okay, this is a little too like shaking around. But other than that, I thought the graphics looked dope. I really like how the like there's the cartoony hand-drawn watercolor paint aspect of it. Phenomenal. For the presentation, you spend a lot of times looking at the screen and not at us. When you're selling it to a person, you need to be talking to that person. That was the only feedback I had for the presentation. I really liked, even though I said in my general notes, don't really need to know about like your budget needs unless it is like, I just want to finish this. Give me $219,172 and I'll be good. Like, I really like that you went the extra mile to do all the market research of the comparisons to the competition out there, the similar games. You didn't mention Genshin, which has a lot of Chinese mythology in it, but I really like that you did all the research and had all that numbers to show us proof for where this could fit in the market and what its potential could be. I thought that was great, and I think you even nailed like how much it could make in the future. Yeah, good job.
This was probably the most publisher-ready deck we've seen so far today. I really think it's good that you focused a lot on the business side of your game and didn't get too in the weeds. You did a really great job, honestly, explaining it in a really short amount of time. And I really appreciate how you use like background art and other things to give us the visual feel of your game in the presentation. Are you looking for publisher funding or for like just straight VC tech funding for this?
We're looking for publisher funding.
Okay, cool. If that's the case, I would actually remove things like marketing because generally a publisher can handle that for you. It'll make your numbers smaller and make you way more appealing. And honestly, like, sign me your deck because I will forward it to people.
I like that you started off, cool art on that opening slide, and the first slide had that gameplay. I actually kind of like that camera. I think the gameplay camera is a little bit more suiting up, but I couldn't fully tell in that edit this is a little quick. Maybe it is nice in gameplay. But speaking of that, I like that you have a demo available to play with you right here. That's awesome.
Steam Deck, feel free.
And then I really thought I like how you pointed on what your playtester said. I like the short game thing. Like, I'm super busy. You're a dad. We don't have a ton of time to play games all the time. A nice game to hop in, kill a couple bosses, get on some leaderboards, get out, whatever, go back to life. It's really nice that he touched on that.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know that I can offer you a whole lot of feedback that would help. Like, so I kind of work more with like indies and kind of get them started and stuff like that. You're at that point. Absolutely, this was a fantastic presentation. You've got a game that's publisher ready. You've established your credentials. You talked about it. I mean, I think you're pretty much like on par, and I'm sure you'll see very much success with this game. Good luck.
Thank you.